Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the episode here, episode number 10, Business Focus Friday. Yes, this is our 10th episode, believe it or not. So I figured this would be kind of cool to go live and do this, because if it's going to go wrong, it's going to be live and it's going to be fun, right? So why don't we get into this? So welcome back to Business Focus Friday. This is, like I said, episode number 10. Yes, indeedy, episode number 10. And today we're going to go head to head traditional marketing versus digital marketing. Yeah, this is going to be kind of cool. We're going to hit that subject today. But here's the twist: it's not a fight, it's a strategy. Yeah, that's right. That is right. So if you're only using one of these different styles of marketing, you're probably missing out. And today, I'm going to show you how to combine both to grow your business smarter, not harder. Traditional versus digital marketing. What actually works today? And we're going to talk about that. This is going to be kind of fun stuff, right? So, and before we really get into it, this is pretty cool because, like I said, it's been a long time since I've gone live. So I think this is pretty cool stuff. Um, so if I get anybody coming onto the channel here, onto this podcast, and you're actually watching live, please hit me up. Let me know that you're here, and if you ever have any questions, ask. Don't be afraid, right? So one more thing, if you have not done so yet, right up here, right? Subscribe to our channel. It's free, doesn't cost you a thing, and the only thing you're doing is helping a small business, right? And that's what we're all about. Okay, so we're still going to go through our three segments today. We're going to go through the digital pulse, tips and tricks, and how to do that. Yeah. So, with that being said, why don't we do this right here? We're going into the digital pulse. Tell me that's not cool. Yeah, that's not cool. It's pretty fun when you have these cool little platforms that I have to do this pretty cool stuff, right? Yeah. Okay. So, in today's digital pulse, is traditional marketing dead or making a comeback? So, everyone keeps saying traditional marketing is dead. But here's the truth: it's not dead, it's just evolved, right? And the businesses winning right now, they're using both. So we're going to go over some key points that you should take a look at, and it should be some fun ways to implement this on your side of the business. So our key point number one is digital is dominating, but it's noisy. Social media saturation is real. Everyone is running ads, which means higher costs, and organic reach, so that SEO is even harder than ever, right? So translation is digital is powerful, but it's very crowded. Yeah, it sure is. And let's talk about number two here. Traditional marketing is gaining trust again. It sure is. Direct mail response rates are actually rising. Local sponsorships and events, that equals real visibility, which is what we're looking for, right? In any marketing you do, we're looking for that visibility, right? So people trust physical presence more than ads. Yeah. So think this: vehicle wraps, local events, flyers done right, not spammy. That's some real stuff right there. So the real trend here is hybrid marketing is the gold, right? Is the gold standard. Think billboard is going to drive Google searches. People are going to drive by your billboard, and they're probably honestly going to Google your business. So once again, billboards, they're going to drive that Google search. Mailers sends people to your website. And those local events, right? It's going to build that social media content, right? I think that's pretty genius. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. So it's not traditional versus digital. It's traditional plus digital, right? So if your marketing lives in just one lane, you're probably going to be leaving some money on the table. Yeah. So that's the digital pulse here, right? So it's getting your digital marketing to work with the traditional marketing. That's how you make it happen. That's how you make it happen. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about, of course, is our tips and tricks. So why don't we dive into that right now? All right, so here we are in the tips and tricks segment of our podcast. And why don't we get into it right now? So, and I just have to say, I'm still loving that I'm able to go live. I just love this. This is good. Okay, and then at the end of the show, I'm going to tell you my setup, and I just love my setup. It's taken a while to get it set up, but it's pretty cool. So anyway, let's get into our tips and tricks here. So, how to combine traditional plus digital for that maximum ROI or return on investment. So, want to know the real marketing hack in 2026? Of course we do. Stop choosing sides. Yeah, and start connecting your marketing. So we're going to go over some actionable tips here that you can use that you can do on your own. Of course, if you don't have time to do it, then you're going to hire a marketing agency to do it. But here are some actionable tips that you can do on your own. Let's get into it. Always add a digital bridge. Every traditional piece should lead somewhere, right? So a QR code is going to lead to a website landing page, right? You got to send them somewhere. Let's take a flyer. So a flyer is going to link someone to an offer page, right? So that landing page that's giving them an offer. And then a business card, a simple business card is going to do a couple of things really. Number one, it can lead to a Google review link. That is key because those Google reviews, it's like pulling teeth to get folks to leave a review. Hey, I get it. Reviews are very hard to get, but when you do and they're amazing, oh, it's so nice, right? It is so, so nice. But a business card can also lead people to your website or will make your phone ring, right? Because you're going to have all that stuff, or even an email, because your email address should be on there. So that business card is very important. So make that business card look as professional as your website. Look the part is what I always say. Look the part, professional, right? Professional. So if it doesn't connect, it does not convert. Okay, so number two, you want to track everything, right? This is where digital wins big because it's so easy to track stuff digitally. So you want to use unique landing pages. You want to use call tracking if you can, right? So that you know where those calls are coming from. Use QR codes with analytics, right? You want to make sure that you know what is working through analytical data. So that tracking, you want to track everything. Number three, you want to repurpose traditional into digital content. The hell am I even talking about, right? So events. So event photos. You go to an event, you should be getting event photos. And those can turn into social media posts. A vehicle wrap, right? You can turn that into doing a branding reel, right? That's the best way to get yourself out there digitally so that people can see who you are, what you stand for, and you look the part. Especially if you've got a vehicle wrap, you're going to look very good. So that branding reel. And then direct mail campaigns. What? Yeah. Behind the scenes video stuff, right? Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. So basically, one effort can lead to multiple channels. That is a great bridge right there. And then number four, build local authority. Yes. Traditional gives credibility, and then digital is going to amplify that. Sponsor a local event, post about it online, tag businesses and people. Boom, you have instant reach and trust, right? So traditional marketing builds trust. Digital marketing multiplies it. So if you keep that in mind, you're just going to win. You're just going to win, right? Because now you've incorporated both traditional and marketing. They're working together um, to make it happen, to make it work. It's amazing, right? And they don't have to compete, right? That's the best part. And like I said, all this stuff that I'm talking about, you can do yourself. But what happens is eventually you get busy, and then you can't time wise do this stuff. So that's when you're going to hire a marketing agency. Or if you're lucky enough that your business can support it, you're going to hire someone for a marketing staff member. And that's awesome. And this also goes for organizations out there, right? So organizations fall under the same boot here as, as us small businesses, right? And they fall under, and actually, they have even a harder time because they're limited budgets, right? So just you can do this stuff yourself. It is so easy to do. So easy to do. Okay, so now what we're going to go over is we're going to go over our how to do that segment. So here we go. All right, so here we are in our how to do that segment, and this is some fun stuff, right? Uh, and hopefully, like I said, this live event is everything's coming over. It looks smooth because that's my goal. That's my goal is to make all this stuff look good. So anyway, here we go. Let's get into how to do that. Yeah. So in this segment, we're going to build a simple hybrid marketing campaign, right? And we're going to talk about this scenario. Let's say you're a local business in Bradenton, right? Bradenton, wherever you hail from, you're a local business, right? So step number one is your core offer. What is your core offer? It could be a free estimate. It could be as simple as a discount, seasonal special, that kind of stuff, right? But you want to make sure that you keep it simple and clear, right? That is important. And now let's go into step number two. So you're going to create a landing page focused on only one goal. Could be a call, could be to fill out a form that's on that landing page. right? Something simple. And then you want to make sure that that page is mobile friendly. I can't stress this enough. Um, these little things right here, yeah, these little things right here, people, that's where people are looking, right? And through our analytical data, more and more and more and more and more people are using their cell phones or mobile device to find those small businesses. So, mobile friendly. Make sure whatever pages you create are mobile friendly. And then make sure that you have a clear CTA or call to action. This is your conversion hub, right? So keep that in mind. Step two is create that landing page and make sure that it's mobile friendly and a clear call to action. Okay, step number three, create a traditional piece. So let's say we're going to choose one of these: a postcard mailer, a door hanger, a local flyer, an event booth, right? So choose one of those, and then one of those you're going to include one of these, a QR code, a website link, and you always want to make sure that you have a strong headline, something that's going to hook them, right? It's called that hook. You want to hook that person, right? Very important. Hooks, all about the hooks, right? And don't ever overpromise, right? Strong headline, very important. And let's talk about step number four here. So add digital support. What do I mean? Facebook, Instagram posts, Google business profile update, another very important thing. And then a short video explaining your offer, the offer, right? So basically, you want to reinforce the message everywhere. Yes. Okay. Step number five, capture and retarget. Yeah. So, website visitors, you want to do retargeting ads. Leads, you want to do email follow ups. And then any missed calls, you want a text back system, right? You don't want to miss any of those missed calls. Very important. This is where that money is made, right? Yeah, very cool, very cool. So the first touch gets attention. The follow up gets the sale. That's how you do it. That is how you do it. So that right there was all three segments live. Love this. Love this, right? This is pretty cool stuff. And one cool thing about, when you go live here, you can do fun stuff like this. Hey, what's up, buddy? Yeah, you can zoom in and boom, zoom back out. I've got my scene set up so cool. So here's what I told you that I would tell you at the end of the video. What am I using to do this live stream? And really, when I do any video shoot now that I do in my home studio office here, is it's pretty good stuff. So I use Ecamm Live. I am a firm believer in Ecamm Live. The only problem with Ecamm Live is that it's for Mac only. So I actually had to go buy a Mac Mini to do these, right? Because that's the only thing Ecamm Live would work with. But Ecamm Live is freaking phenomenal. The stuff that you can do with it, it's just it's just so nice, just so nice. You build out all your scenes, which is what I've done. So like I have this scene right here that I can come up here and say, "Hey, howdy doody. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, this is some good stuff." And then I have a scene where I can do a presentation, which is pretty cool. So I can come here and you can see I pop in down there at the corner. Life is good. And everything is done and handled through Ecamm Live. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Yeah. And then, of course, camera wise, if you're looking at getting into doing video, I I really love the camera that I'm using, which is the Sony ZV-E10. It's an amazing camera, right? But you definitely have to know how to use it because it's got a lot of settings, hundreds of pages of settings. And it's taken me a while to fine tune my settings to get. I mean, I know it's hard to get this thing to look good, but once you fine tune those settings, which everything is in manual, the only thing that's in automatic is the focus. Everything else is manually set. So my aperture, my shutter speed, my ISO are all manually set. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. But then, of course, you want a good microphone. So my microphone is the Shure MV7 Plus. Sits up on a boom that comes up here and it's sitting right there. Yep. So it's up and out of the way. I used to do it where it was kind of position is actually down here and kind of popped up a little bit, right? Is actually, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Down here in the corner. But I always wanted that look where um, I have a clean video here, right? Nothing hanging. So I wanted to move it up out of the way. So that's good stuff. And then, of course, nothing's complete without fantastic lighting. But here, before I go, your audio is just as important. And I actually think it's more important than your video quality. Because if someone lands on your video to watch a video and your audio is terrible, it's just not good. People aren't going to sit around and do that. They will suffer through bad video quality, but they will not suffer through poor audio quality. So I think that's pretty cool. Yeah. So good lighting is the next thing. Is I have two lights, right? I have my key light, which is the Amaran P60C, amazing, and I actually have two of them because my accent light, which sets off over at the distance, is also an Amaran P60C. So that's my setup. Really easy. And then everything comes through Ecamm Live, and I can control, well, everything. It is so cool. All right. So there you go. So that is this week's episode of Business Focus Friday. And once again, if you haven't yet done so, right there, please consider subscribing to our channel. We're trying to grow our channel so we can get these videos out to more people, right? Because I think I'm giving some pretty good advice that anybody can do. Anybody can do when it comes to your marketing, right? And if you're not doing marketing, it's going to be very hard to get some business. And you got to love those people say, "Well, I just do word of mouth." Well, what happens when the word of mouth stops? Think about that. You're screwed. You're screwed. And because you haven't done any marketing ever, uh you are in the hole so deep that it's very hard to get out. So do some marketing, folks. You can do it yourself. So easy to do, right? It just takes time. Time. Everything takes time. All right. Well, on that note, I just want to once again thank you so much for watching this live stream of our podcast, episode 10 of the Business Focus Friday. You all take care. And as always, do behave. Bye now.